This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
And welcome to Off the Break Podcast. I'm Cody. With me are Kyle and Eric.
Hello.
Hello. Poor
Guys,
Cody doesn't have her coffee.
I don't have coffee. We ran out of coffee at the office. I don't know if this has ever happened.
It's been a little rough today without the coffee.
Usually you guys are good at keeping track of that. Like, the stash is running low.
I know, I was not.
We need to resupply.
My mind has been on other things this week.
It must have been
a pretty busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then there's no coffee, so I'm like, I'll make a tea concoction. And that was gross. So
Yeah,
I thought you were saying that it was kind of working.
I know.
it
like
was working. And then I had a really bad aftertaste that was like so bitter.
You stepped out for a moment and she was like, okay, I can't drink this anymore. I was like,
Oh.
a minute ago you were hyping this
Yeah,
thing
a
up.
simple cup of black tea.
I know, I should have done that. Instead, I tried to do Egyptian licorice and mint, but the mint
That
was
doesn't
a
even
separate.
sound good.
I don't even know what
I
that
like
means.
Egyptian licorice tea.
I've never even heard of it.
It's good. It's got like warming spice in it. Like
Not a big licorice guy, though.
I'm not a big
Ooh.
tea guy, so I don't know what is being said right now. I did not even think that was ever a flavor.
yeah, licorice is
tea.
a licorice flavor derives from a spice. I think is it star of anise or something, or is,
Totally.
I don't know.
I have no
Anyways,
I'm glad she at
So-
least looked to you and not to me. Cause again, I don't drink tea. I have no idea.
yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea what everyone was talking about.
You're such a Philistine with your beverage choices.
Not really. I drink Mountain Dew.
And water.
Exactly. And hot cocoa. Hot cocoa, I will.
Well, I mean, hot cocoa's
Yeah,
delicious. I had some
absolutely.
like last night with whipped
I-
cream because I'm a child.
I
But it was
tried to
delicious.
get my boys to have hot cocoa the other night, and they wouldn't drink it. They're like, "No, we don't like this." I'm like,
What?
Who doesn't like hot chocolate?
Oh, that
I
has
love
to
hot
change.
cocoa. When I was little, it was always too hot for me, so I put exactly one ice cube in it. And
Yeah.
when that melted,
I would do
was
that
like,
a couple of times
perfect
too.
temperature.
Or you cool down with some milk so that it's
Yeah,
creamy.
people always thought I was weird because I never really had hot chocolate with milk.
Yeah.
And then when I first tried hot
Did you
chocolate
do it with
milk,
water?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we always did
God,
it with
that's the
water too.
worst.
But
Yeah.
No,
but I
it's
would
not.
It's
I would pour
so
a little milk in to
disgusting.
cool it down.
And then I found out that like at coffee shops they like use milk. I was like, what is this? Why does this taste so weird?
Yeah.
It tastes kind of gross.
But so delicious. No, it doesn't taste gross.
Water,
Do you
hot chocolate,
heat up
tea.
milk and make your hot chocolate with
See,
milk?
that's to me the idea of heating up
Yeah.
milk is
Ew.
disgusting.
yeah.
I think that's so gross.
It's really good to me. I
Even
don't
when
know
I was
what
a
to
little
tell ya.
kid, you would read like kids books and they're like, and then mommy put him to bed and brought him a glass of warm milk. I was like, why do you want that?
Ooh.
That sounds
No,
disgusting.
straight warm milk. I will agree. Straight warm milk does sound pretty gross.
Lattes are good though.
Not for me.
Not for you.
No, I mean, I'll drink them.
I can't drink them anymore, but I used to love them.
Just a black coffee guy.
I'm just Americano.
Sometimes I'll
With a
do
little
the
bit of
iced
cream.
Americano, but it's always black.
Mm.
I get hot chocolate at coffee shops. I'm that guy. And I will fully admit to being that
Can I
guy.
have one medium hot cocoa, please?
Oh, yeah, that's the order. And then half the time it's
Do you
disgusting.
get whipped cream on it?
Yeah, it depends on the day.
Oh, every time.
I like getting.
Sometimes it gets in the way of like the lid though, like if
Yeah.
you're trying to put it on or like you're drinking
True.
it through. Yeah.
At like diners or sit-down restaurants, though?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
If you-
They know how to do it.
If you're making it at home, I like mini marshmallows,
Uh,
the little small ones, and then I pour whoa.
Peppermint schnapps?
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Peppermint
okay.
schnapps. I just went blank. Peppermint schnapps, but I pour it on top of the marshmallows so it soaks into them first before.
Gross.
So then I eat peppermint schnapps marshmallows. They're so
That's-
I
good.
don't like
Ingenious.
marshmallows. Marshmallows are
And then-
gross.
And then if they're a
S'mores?
little on the stale side,
Those
it
are good.
soaks it
Okay.
into them and gets them all nice.
I don't even remember the last time I've had marshmallows.
The only
and hot
types
chocolate.
of marshmallows I like are like charred, black, crispy
Oh, you're
campfire
those
Oh,
guys.
you're
marshmallows
one-
Oh.
ew.
and Lucky Charms
Golden
marshmallows.
brown.
I love Lucky
No,
Charms.
golden
gotta do
brown
golden
is so
brown.
overrated.
It's
It's the
not.
best.
It's the perfectly amount of rated.
Why would you want to eat charred burnt sugar?
Because I
basically,
love charred.
You might as well
charred.
just take like the wood that's burning
Yeah.
in the fire and just munch
no-
on that.
When else do you get to eat something that looks like charcoal?
Never.
Exactly.
Because I don't
It's
want
like-
Gross.
to.
Yeah,
It's
you
good.
You can't taste the burnt.
I don't
I
understand those
disagree.
people.
I disagree.
We're just not gonna. We're not gonna make sense of this.
100% of the time.
It's rare that Kyle and I gain up on you, but my God.
Yeah, I used to try to get the golden brown, but I never could as a kid. And I was just like, screw this. I want my s'more. And then I was like, this is really good.
I love getting it golden brown and pulling that layer off, and then getting it golden brown again and pulling the layers off. Till
That just seems like a
Like a
lot of
twice baked
hassle.
potato with marshmallows.
oh, it's so good.
What like
But you
on
get the cool like
on the stick?
you get the
Yeah,
cool
you
like
just pull it off.
thin layer
Oh,
breakage
you
sound.
mean like when you're done?
Yeah.
You guys
Oh, I
don't-
thought you meant. I don't know what I thought you meant then.
you guys don't get cool sounds when you bite into your golden brown though. When it's like
I
charred
get the
and
sound of
black,
me going,
it's like,
that's delicious.
it's like breaking a
there's that
really thin
sound.
layer of ice. It's so satisfying.
Then break some ice.
Yeah.
Get
Good
that
point.
fix.
Oh. Speaking of marshmallows and
Right.
ice, what did you think of Parasite?
Yeah, I finally saw it.
Yeah, it came to what was it?
The
Our-
downtown theater?
Yeah, our downtown local theater. They do a really good job at like getting those Oscar caliber movies.
Yeah, they make it more of an event. They have like
Yeah.
a person. Was there a person who like spoke about the movie beforehand?
Yeah, not as much as like past movies, but she hyped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they give you like drinks, like alcoholic beverages, and they have some snacks, and yeah, I don't know, the environment is always just really nice. You can just feel that these people are genuinely excited for
Yeah,
these
I mean,
movies, and
It's
they don't know much about them, but they know like they want to see this type of stuff.
Yeah.
and-
yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
takes
was
a
a good
certain type
crowd.
of person to seek out a special like one night only screening of
Yeah.
a foreign film.
yeah, and apparently they saw that it was gonna do so well, like the first showing that I went to, that they got an encore of it now.
Yeah, it's crazy that this movie's getting such buzz.
Yeah.
Like,
It's really hitting a nerve. It must.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's awesome.
And rightfully deserved. 'Cause
It's
this
so
movie,
good.
It's so good, guys. I was so happy to finally see this, and it did not disappoint. I
Did
love.
they successfully get you to not have unreasonably high expectations?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
That's
And
all
it
I was
paid
trying
off
to do.
well, because I would have been so bummed if I got too overhyped for it. But I kept my cool, as I always do. No, that's not true. But no, I was so impressed by Parasite. It was extremely well done.
It's deserves all of the buzz and all of the praise it's
Yeah.
been getting.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be an Oscar contender.
Now, is it going to be just a foreign language Oscar contender, like in that foreign
I
films?
hope
Or
not.
is it going to be like legitimate Best Picture contender?
I think it will be a
Oh,
best
absolutely. Best
picture contender, but I could see it going like the Roma route, where it just wins foreign film, and then
Just
they
kinda
can
has
focus.
the nomination.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
focus on like the American films getting the best picture win, which would be unfortunate because I do think this really is high up there for being like best picture period.
Yeah.
But
Is the Academy Awards, though, Best Picture in America or Best Picture in the world, period?
I mean, you'd hope for it to be in the
Don't know.
world, but it's
Yeah.
it's in America.
I keep checking up on those lists that combine all of like how many different like critics lists has this appeared at the top of, and it's so
Yeah.
far ahead of everything else. It's taken the first place like almost twice as much as
Mm.
the runner up, which I think it was The Irishman.
Man,
I'm
really?
not sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh.
I don't fully agree with that being the runner up, but
I mean, me either, but
yeah, it's a very well done movie, but I don't know. I see why there's so much hype for Parasite, and I hope that it's able to, get the win. I'll root for it. Why not?
oh, I'm Team Parasite. I haven't seen the nominations yet, but
No, the nominations for that are coming Monday.
Next.
oh, that's right. It's like right
Yeah,
around the corner.
Next week.
Yeah, some things might have changed because of the Golden Globes. Maybe, I don't know.
Have they? I feel like the Golden Globes sometimes predict, but a lot of times they just kind of do their own thing.
I think they just, because the Golden Globes is the foreign press. So unless you screen your film overseas and you interact with the foreign press, it's going to be a lot harder for you to
Yeah.
get in and be noticed on the Golden Globes.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
And I think that's why, because the foreign press is so small, that
Yeah. It's like 70 people or something.
it's like, yeah, less than 100, I think, then they are easily swayed.
It's just like a
Or
slightly bigger
bought.
than normal club.
it is that you can buy into.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, seeing as though
Like, hey,
Cats
guys.
was nominated for some things without anyone seeing the movie, I
Yeah.
think that's a very good guess.
Probably just throw like a big pizza party for them and be like,
cat-shaped pizzas.
I think that's all it takes is a pizza party.
Yeah,
I mean, that'll work for me.
that'll be enough. Yeah, that'd be enough for
If
me.
you guys want to hire me and buy me pizza, then sure. But no, I don't really pay attention to Golden Globes that much. I know we're about to talk about it,
Yeah.
talk about like who won and stuff, but personally, I don't get affected by Golden Globes that much. Like, I saw a few clips of the show. Ricky Gervais's monologue was amazing, but besides that, I don't really care what happens in the Globes.
So I just
Go
want
for
to
it.
say Oscars is going hostless this year, and
Mhm.
I've noticed that on the Golden Globes though, so many people are talking about Ricky Gervais's monologue. That are the Oscars hurting themselves a little with that?
Ricky Gervais, you want to also do the Oscars?
I mean,
No,
if the
but-
Oscars want to get burned by Ricky Gervais, be my guess. But
No, but I mean it does create this dialogue that's lasting longer than the award ceremony.
honestly, I don't care that
Yeah,
these awards shows
But
have
it worked so well for them
hosts or
last
not.
year.
I
It
just
was
don't
like
care.
pretty much unanimously favored. People were like, yeah, this whole no host thing, I could do this again.
Yeah.
And so I think it's gonna work again this year.
It just feels like a time waster. Like, minus a couple of hosts that do great jobs, but beyond
Here
that
and
though,
there.
like, there's always bits that don't land, and even they do, they're only okay. Like, you remember them for a day and then you
Don't-
forget about
Don't
it.
they still do the bits though? Basically,
I mean, sure, but you might as well do the bits to
I
make
don't
them.
remember any of them.
I mean, sure, they're not memorable to begin with,
Yeah,
but
they're
at
just
least
there
like
they're there to
at
get
least they were
people-
quicker. At least they were bits that got over with instead of like seeing Ellen, I don't know, throw a pizza party for 5 minutes. I
Pizza
don't want
party.
I don't want my time
for
to
the
be
Foreign
wasted.
Press Association. Remember us next year?
Tell
Yeah,
me more
it's
where
just-
this came from.
I don't know. I'm fine with it being hostless. I think it'll make the show go faster as it did last year, but
I'm gonna do what
I understand why
usually
people
always do.
love it.
I'm gonna do what I usually always do and just wait and then look at the live feed of the results and then watch whichever speeches seem interesting to me after the fact.
I do wonder if I'll do that this year. I don't know. Like, host or no host, I'm
It's
not
like
really
4
wanting
hours.
to watch it.
It's like
I used to get really excited about it, now I'm just over it.
ever since I didn't don't have cable anymore, it's like I'm not really gonna go out of my way to find a
Yeah,
way to watch.
You don't
this.
need to buy cable just to see the Oscars.
Even if it's as simple as like plugging an HDMI cord into my TV. It's like, nah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what else do we think about the Golden Globes? I personally was very excited that Netflix got shut out because the narrative
That was a
going
big headline
yeah,
for sure.
narrative going into it was like, oh my gosh, look,
Netflix
this
is dominating.
yeah, they're dominating now. This is their year. They're gonna take home something, and then they got shut out, and I was like, yes,
Pretty much. I think Laura Dern's the only Netflix thing that won
And
anything.
I think that's only because she has a history with the Golden Globes.
That
There's a relationship there. She was
that
whatever
and
that Miss Golden Globe thing is. She was one of those, and then
Oh, I didn't know that.
she's won in the
I'm not
past.
because she's gonna win the Oscar.
I kind of
So I
thought the
think that's
nominations
just-
were
You
weak
think-
anyway.
You think she's gonna win the Oscar for
Absolutely.
supporting?
Yeah, 100%.
She's a front runner. For Marriage Story, like, I think she does a very good job. I don't think it's like one of the best performances I've seen this year, but she'll be a front runner.
But of
because
the
everyone loves Laura Dern
nominees,
from Golden Globes.
well, the Golden Globe nominees are probably going to be the Oscar nominees in this category. There's
I can't look at Lauren Dern and not see Captain or Admiral Holdo, Vice Admiral Holdo. That's all I see when I look at her now.
What about her
Aw.
role in Jurassic Park?
No,
Worth a shot.
no, I just see Vice
I
Admiral.
think she's a chameleon.
Holdo.
I love Laura Dern.
Oh, I mean, who doesn't love Laura Dern? That's why they nominate her. And she's a really good actress, but yeah, she's so lovable.
The thing with the Golden Globes, I mean, obviously they split up drama and musical comedy, but
Yeah.
you know,
So
these
there's
are
always some changes.
all
in
of these
there.
ceremonies have the same nominees. So like really the only thing that would surprise me at the Oscars is if like, you know, it would be really cool if The Farewell made it in there. I don't think it will.
Like for Best Picture.
Yeah, because technically they have 10 slots, but they almost never use it.
Yeah.
They like cap it at 8 usually.
8 or 9.
And the 8 movies that have been showing up on every ceremony's top picture contenders is probably going to be the same. So I don't think there's going to be any big surprises in terms of nominations.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've already seen kind of what it's going to look like at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the more of the surprise will come with who actually wins, because there were a couple surprises at the Golden Globes, like Missing Link's animated picture win.
That was probably like the surprise for me.
I kind of feel like that me though isn't as surprising because usually the stop motion animation process is heavily favored
True.
against digital because of the physical effort it takes to create that and the kind of throwback.
But
to
that
old-
hasn't hasn't necessarily reflected in the past though.
What?
Because like has any of Leica's movies ever
I
won
think
a best animated picture?
I want to say Kubo and the Two Strings
Yeah.
did win the year it came out.
I don't think it did.
I can go check
Paranorman
though.
might not have made it.
I mean, they get nominated, but they don't usually win, I don't think.
Did any of the Shaun the Sheep movies?
No. Well, I don't know. I did
It's not
see
stop motion though, is it?
Yeah, it is.
it's claymation.
Oh, that's right. It's like the Wallace and Gromit
Yeah,
type look.
Shaun the Sheep.
Those are cool.
I can't
But-
find the Kubo thing right now.
Yeah.
I'll try
That
and get
was
around
like-
to it.
Well, I guess depending on what year it came out, I might know.
I think it was 2016.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
But I can't think of what movies came out in 2016, so I apologize.
No, but I mean, yeah, that was probably the biggest surprise, and not to take away from the animated movie category, but if the animated category is the biggest surprise, then I feel like it's a pretty predictable.
Yeah.
What
What about Taron Egerton winning? Because do you think he only got in because they split those categories?
I think so.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still argue that he deserves an Oscar nomination.
Oh, for sure.
I would be happy if he got it.
Yeah, but
You don't think he'll even get nominated?
no.
I don't think so. It's
I
been
think he
capped
has-
out with.
He'll be like in the bubble,
It's like Adam
but
because
he won't be a contender.
say there's 5 slots. Adam Driver's guaranteed. Antonio Banderas is probably guaranteed. Maybe.
Oh my gosh, your phone scared
That
me.
scared me.
It
really
was playing
bad,
the
too. The Misty Mountain.
yeah. Okay, it looks like it was nominated for Best Animated Feature. Kubo was, but it doesn't look like it won.
Yeah, I don't think Leica's ever won an Oscar.
It should.
Yeah, totally.
Well, their stuff is amazing. Missing Link was great. I just think there wasn't any hype once it came out, and
Right.
that's why it was such a big surprise that it won a Golden Globe.
I'm kind of surprised too. It wasn't my favorite out of Leica's stuff. I think.
Oh no,
Kubo
Kubo is amazing.
so good. Paranorman's I think even better than Missing Link.
Yeah,
Haven't seen
you've told me
Paranorman.
great things about Paranorman.
Yeah, I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Did we want to go down the categories with our thoughts, or do we?
You could do the major ones.
Okay. Best Best motion picture for a drama came to 1917.
That one I kind of wasn't that surprised about. It seems I'm sure the movie's awesome. I'm probably gonna see it this weekend, but it hadn't really won anything before the Golden Globes, and to me it seemed like the movie the Golden Globes would choose.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know why
it
I
only
thought
came
that.
out New York, LA on Christmas, so it wouldn't
Yeah.
have been in anything before the Golden Globes.
It's a great time for it to go wide. I'm about to see it tonight, and I think after the Golden Globe win, it's possible that people are going to be really
I'm sure it'll
wanting
get
to
a
see
big
this.
boost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
It's kind of
boost.
funny though. Like 3 of the 5 in this category were all Netflix movies, and then there was Joker. But
It's
Do
just
you
weird.
think Joaquin Phoenix will win for Joker?
I don't think he'll win. at the
nominated for
Oscars.
sure.
Yeah, that's what I was
Nominated
saying. The
for
best
sure.
actor category is pretty stacked with Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, Antonio Banderas,
Christian Bale.
maybe.
I don't think so.
They also got Jonathan Pryce from The Two Popes. I think that's a bubble candidate.
Yeah.
Hopefully Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I think Adam Sandler's
What
more
about
of a shot
Leonardo
than.
DiCaprio?
Probably Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ooh, yeah. For
See,
Once
it's
Upon a
just too
Time.
stacked, and-
Yeah.
You
Do
know,
you think
we
Leo-
all liked Rocket Man a
Right.
lot, and a lot of people did, but it was kind of far away at this point. Like you mentioned on the last podcast, a lot of people kind of see it as like, in a weird way, like a sequel to Bohemian
It was
Rhapsody.
trying to be Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
There's no way it's better than that one.
Like I feel like they kind of got their whole famous musician.
they got it out of the
biopic.
way.
Yeah. Like because Rami Malek won
Mhm.
Yeah.
for Freddie Mercury, Terrence not gonna win, or not gonna get nominated, let alone win.
Which is unfortunate because
Yeah.
his performance is so amazing, and I would rather see him get a nomination than somebody that starred in a Netflix film. Because do those even really count? Are those real movies? I don't.
Are
think
those
so.
true cinema?
Yeah. They can go F themselves.
Adam Driver moved me to tears almost. So
Yeah, Adam Driver's really good.
he's
Yeah, but-
probably. I hope he wins.
How much
It felt
difference
like-
is that
it
a
felt like true
movie
cinema.
versus This is a video that I show my acting students. Like, this is a really good performance.
I
Like,
see
I feel
people
like that's a
making
very
that,
training
easy
video.
and overly cynical take on it.
No.
I feel like you could use that argument for anything.
and any one of those
This
type
didn't
of
really show in a theater, but it's been a really good.
one of those type of movies can make that argument to being like a student film, which is
Yeah.
fair. Like a lot of them are not very good, but this one I counter with that. It's a lot more realistic, a lot more raw.
It's just an incredible movie.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
It's just smarter with not, I don't know, being touchy-feely about it. Like, it just makes it as realistic
About
as
divorce.
possible. Well, like glamorizing, like,
Rising divorce.
I'm saying the wrong words. I just mean, like, when it comes to, like,
Keep going, Kyle.
performances, like...
No, it's a
it
very,
can
very,
be-
very, very well done movie
Yeah.
by a very, very well respected writer-director.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It got so quiet. I don't know what to do
I
now.
feel like it's felt really quiet this whole time.
Yeah, it's just been a weird day.
It's been weird.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won for Best Motion Picture in a Musical or Comedy, which is a joke of a category, but yeah, it won. And
don't-
this one will be a Best Picture
Because of the
contender.
whole split
Yeah.
category thing, I'm not surprised at all that it won that.
Yeah.
Right.
Part of me wonders if the Academy will pick that movie for Best Picture, though. Because,
I
like,
think it'll get a nomination.
it will 100% get a nomination. But I used to be so sold that The Irishman was definitely going to win, because
Uh-huh.
that was what it seemed like. But now it's like, what if they do kind of hop on board the Parasite train? But I don't know. The more I think about it, too, Hollywood or the Academy loves movies about movies. And
Well,
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like the ultimate movie about movies.
Right. And Quentin Tarantino, having written it, directed it, I
They
don't know.
love him.
Maybe they love him, but I don't know. There's more authenticity, I think, to his. And what are you giving Scorsese the Oscar for? Because he has come back, or is it actually really good? Because I think you could argue that Quentin's movie was just as good, if not better.
You
'cause
could argue
actually
that
saw
any
it
of
in
these
the
movies
theater.
are just as good. That's the whole point.
I'm just saying that, like, I think there's nothing that really sets Irishman apart other than this narrative about its release schedule. And it's
Again,
horrible,
I feel
horrible.
like that's the same. You can make that argument. Any of the movies.
I get
I
what she's
feel like you just really hate
Yeah.
Netflix.
to an extent. I get
Irishman
what
is
Cody
a
is saying.
very, very, very well made movie with incredible performances, very well written screenplay. Gangster movies just aren't my ultimate favorite thing, so it's not my
Mhm.
favorite movie. But a lot of people out there,
Are you sure it's really good, or are you sure it's not just like, oh, this notable director brought
I'm
back
sure
the
I'm
same
sure it's
cast
very
he's
good.
always used in the same movie he's always done?
It's very good,
He's
but
done that
it's
movie
not
like
the most
once.
memorable of movies. Especially
I
in
feel like it's incredibly memorable.
agree to disagree. Again, you can argue that with any movie of these movies. Yeah, Parasite obviously won for foreign language film.
I want a dark horse like Parasite to win.
I think
I feel like
Parasite
Parasite's a dark horse at this point. A dark horse to me would be like
Jojo Rabbit.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's a foreign film. It has none of the main like Hollywood echelon of people in it or notoriety about it, but it is just a film that's getting a lot of people talking, and I like that. I kind of want that's what I want to win.
But why there's so many people talking about is why I think it's like top 3 of the contenders
yeah.
instead of like a dark horse. Like a dark horse would be like I said,
Farewell.
Jojo Rabbit, maybe a Farewell. I could even see Knives Out being a dark horse.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I don't, or Just Mercy. Like that's
Yeah.
also a.
It is interesting though, because
horse.
previous years it always comes down like the 2 head to head, but this one I do think that it could go to any of the 3.
Sure.
Once Upon a Time, Parasite, and
Mhm.
Irishman.
Yeah. But again, maybe Parasite just won't win because they're gonna give the win in foreign language
yeah,
film.
that's
category.
the thing you always worry about that.
Yeah.
Like they did with Roma.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Any of these other categories? Best Actress went to Renee Zellweger for Judy.
That's probably gonna happen at
Yeah.
the Oscars.
It's either that or Scarlett Johansson because she's also really good in Marriage Story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Doo-doo.
Actor
I'll-
was Joaquin Phoenix, like we said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy went to Awkwafina for The Farewell.
That made me so happy.
Yeah, but I mean, all the other nominations were kind of weak, in my
I
opinion.
don't remember the other nominations.
There was Ana de Armas from Knives Out.
Oh, she was great.
No, she was great. But
Was she?
Awkwafina, was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. Beanie Feldstein from Booksmart, Emma Thompson from Late Night, and Kate Blanchett from Where'd You Go,
All
Bernadette.
about Late Night.
I
Do
forgot
you-
about Where'd You Go, Bernadette. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Do
saying
you
by
think that
this category.
those were like great performances?
No.
Or
like
do
they
you
just
think
had to
that
fill the
it was because
slots.
it's Emma Thompson? Like they needed to fill slots.
Oh,
with
they're
named.
slot fillers. Yeah, they're.
I mean, the
With
first three are
well-known-
genuinely all great, I think.
Yeah,
I like seeing
first three are
Beanie
good.
Feldstein being
Yeah,
nominated. She was
great.
really
It was
good.
hilarious.
You know, if she got nominated the Oscars in supporting actress, I wouldn't be disappointed. I think that
No.
could. I think that's a long shot, but I'd be on board for
I don't
that.
think it's that long of a shot. I feel like most of these are gonna be the same Oscar nominees.
Do you think Booksmart's gonna have a lot of nominations like supporting actress?
I don't think it's gonna have a lot of nominations at all, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was nominated because like if you were to name, can you name any other performances that weren't on that list of nominations for Best Supporting Actress that you could see making the Oscar nominations?
What about Florence Pugh for Midsommar?
Not she would
That-
get it for Little Women.
Oh.
That would
People
that,
have been loving her performance in Little Women. I would love it if she got nominated.
I
for
do
Midsommar,
think
though.
that I think she'll make it instead of like Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But for the most part, I feel like that's the list.
I mean,
I'm trying to think of some.
I don't
others.
know. Late night and I hope not. That would be a very disappointing.
I never
list.
saw Late Night, but I feel like I can probably say that that's not
Actually-
necessarily the best supporting actress.
Wait, let me see.
performance.
Did Kathy Bates
Oh, Kathy Bates will. No, she's actress, isn't she? No,
best
she would
actress
be. She
or
would be
best
supporting
supporting actress?
She would be a supporting actress.
For what?
Richard Jewell.
Oh.
Apparently, everyone's been loving her performance. I haven't seen Richard Jewell yet. I don't know.
I keep saying that you mean to. I don't think you're ever gonna see it.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, now that 1917's out, and I don't know.
You know,
Richard
1917, Richard Jewell, same thing.
Exactly the same thing. Totally. I can't find them now. But Taron Egerton, we said that we were happy that he won in that musical or
Yeah. I
comedy
hope he at least
category.
gets nominated.
yeah,
I'd love for him to win.
yeah.
In a perfect world,
In a perfect
he would not
world.
win for me. But
Best
he'd be nominated.
director went to Sam Mendes for 1917. But I thought the category was pretty good of nominees, though,
Yeah.
all things considered.
It's because there are a lot of great movies this year. All
Yeah.
the categories, for the most part, are pretty stacked. I like it.
Best screenplay went to Quentin Tarantino, which I thought was actually going to go to Marriage Story, but
I thought it was going to be either that or Parasite.
let's see. Brad Pitt won for Once Upon a Time as well.
Oh,
yeah,
he's like guaranteed the Oscar, and that makes me so happy.
yeah, I could see that too. He's probably the lead in that.
That's
Oh,
like my
Kathy Bates got nominated for supporting actress. Yeah, okay. But yeah, that was it for the
Yeah,
major
you're right.
categories. Like we said, they're
Yeah, nothing really too surprising.
No, I don't think there was any. I think the only things, the snub wise, was Netflix getting shut out. But
Yeah.
other than that, which I was really, really surprised to see, other than that, it was just a pretty safe, I think, Golden Globes.
I mean, Ricky Gervais
Well,
did his whole thing. You know, that's
safe minus
basically what he
the
always does.
intro.
Right. But
The intro was very funny and like skewering.
Yeah.
But if you think back to his previous,
He's done this before.
That's always what he does.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh.
been a couple of years, so people like kind of forget about it. And it's like, oh yeah, remember this?
It apparently has hit a major nerve with a lot of people. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, get him,
Oh yeah, in this political
stick it to
Pitchforks.
Hollywood."
in this political climate, there's a lot of people who are like, yes, he speaks for us,
Mhm.
and he knows that.
yeah. So I don't think it's gonna. I think it kind of offers a little bit of insight to the Academy Awards, but more of just probably like some safe nomination
Yeah,
situations.
there's
no surprises really.
until we see the nominations, like
Yeah.
even before we see it, I don't think that there is a movie that could win Best Picture that would actually like upset me.
Right.
You know, because I like all of them enough that, you know, I'm not really gonna be like, not that I would get angry anyways, because it's the Oscars. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. But it's like sometimes there's a movie where I'm like, yes, I really want this one to win when it comes down to like the head-to-head thing,
Right.
and then the other one wins, and I'm like, no. But this one, I like them all. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be what we get then.
Right.
And I take it we're going to talk about Oscar nominees next podcast when it comes out.
Yes.
I'll be the talk of the town.
talk
yeah.
of the town.
It'll be it will be the talk of the town. All right, perfect.
Well-
Just had to be sure.
Moving on, there was a really interesting article, and I think we can tie this back to our film Oscar nomination talk. And Kyle kind of wrote a little piece about it, about AI-driven green lighting. And
It's like the most science fiction sounding
Yeah.
thing. When I saw it, I didn't know anything about that. And then I saw Kyle's article up there. I was like, what?
right.
And
Yeah,
I read it.
I
and
saw
I was just
the-
like, oh.
I saw the
The
headline
future.
from THR and I did a double take.
Yeah.
I had to be sure I read that correctly.
So Kyle read this article from Hollywood Reporter and kind of put his 2 cents into it. So what did that article cover? Warner Brothers partnered with a company that does what, Kyle?
The company is called Synalytic.
Apparently, they've been working on this
Synalytic.
technology for a while.
Yeah, pretty recently. Basically, the summary of what it does is that it kind of assesses like star power, release dates, marketing type deals for
Demographic information.
Yeah, demographic information for a bunch of different entertainment type companies, but mainly they're trying to specialize in like theatrical releases and that sort of thing. To just pretty much compile information about like what works best, like how
I don't like
a
that.
movie will be able
I
to
know.
perform well, that type of thing.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like
based
this
on-
movie will be more worth making than this one.
Well, but for
more profitable.
sort
but
of,
yeah.
but for whatever your measure is, do you want a movie that hits the Hispanic audience? Do you want a movie that hits the older demographic? Do you want one that's gonna work with this actor to attach to this project? And if that actor is attached, where these places in the country is where it's gonna
So-
work best.
So this thing isn't like, it's not like there's this old South Park episode where like Cartman basically pitches random ideas. So this thing isn't pitching ideas,
No.
is it? It's
All
you're
it-
like feeding it potential ideas,
Yeah.
and it's choosing the best
Yeah,
one.
supposedly it's not doing any of the creative decision making,
And it doesn't
which
even
was kind of a
choose-
worry in the article.
Right.
But
It
the guy
doesn't
who
choose
runs
the best one.
yeah, the guy who runs the company said like, no, that's not what this is trying
You
to
basically
be.
get a script come in, and it'll
Like a
have
screenplay.
like a screenplay, yeah, and it'll have, or even just a pitch idea.
Yeah, like
And it'll have certain things like, we have a project about like a cancer patient that stars Scarlett Johansson. And then that
okay.
you give some of that, probably a lot more details. This is our budget. This is what this is. And you put that into the AI, and the AI will analyze it and say, well, a release pattern with like this many prints, or in this area, or
I see.
that.
This is the best way to handle this type of movie.
Yeah, so that when they green light it, they can say, okay, we like your idea, but you have to cut this budget, and they have some numbers behind it. Or
Okay.
we're full-fledged on this one, or no, this just
It's a little more practical. but it's
doesn't work
still
for-
weird.
yeah. and
'Cause who knows where it'll grow from there.
well, and it's taking
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's
creative
taking
decisions,
super
maybe.
creative ideas and trying to boil them down to data. And I just don't know. I think you miss out
It's
trying
a
to
little gross.
overanalyze.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense on the studio's end because we've been seeing like a lot of movies failing and
Like
flopping.
Warner's had so
Yeah.
many in a row
Yeah,
this year.
and even SCX, who
probably
like,
why they're
just signed
doing
with
this.
them like a few months back. So it kind of makes sense to a degree, but at the same time,
SCX
there
has
is
also been failing really bad.
Yeah.
which is why they signed
But-
with them after all
But where
their
they're
failures.
but what they're failing is this mid-range films, and I think
Yeah.
we've talked about this before with the advent of streaming. It's not that mid-range films don't work. It's just that the streaming ecosystem has created like a different bar to barrier to go to the theater. And so mid-range films that might have been like, I've got nothing else to do, let's go to the movie theater, I don't know where else I'm going to see a movie like this.
Yeah.
Now they've gone to the streaming ecosystem, and so when one of those in that range does come to the theaters, it's like, I'll just wait and watch this on streaming for free, because it's just the cost for the ticket cost and the perceived value of those mid-range films doesn't warrant going to the theater for. And I don't
So
know
sad.
if this AI is really like the solution for that.
No, this kind of seems like guys, all of our movies are failing. Let's just trust the computer.
Right.
well, it's like let's
yeah.
trust the computer to give us the box office, the big blockbusters that do work. When
talk
you need to
about-
have mid-range.
There's no way that's going to be able to predict, like, because every so often there's a movie that, for whatever reason, like explodes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Crazy Rich
Popularity.
Asians. That one just
It
popped
just
in my mind.
hits
that
a
one
cultural
just,
zeitgeist.
And you
in
can't
there.
predict those things.
No,
This-
and
but
that's
this
what I'm
can.
saying. You can't be a box checker with
No.
it. That does suck the creativity. Even though this company's saying, we're not going to actually come up with the pitches and the scripts. What you're doing is coming up with a box, and if you don't tick this box, you don't get through. And I don't know if that
Ugh.
services anybody. Or if
No.
you only tick 3 boxes, you're only worth that much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it's
This idea
a weird
checked
middle
3
ground.
of 7 boxes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and put this on the no pile.
It needs to be
Yeah.
a 5 checker at least.
Yeah, we have a 5 checkbox minimum.
Like I said, like it makes sense for these companies that have been seeing so many other movies fail, like Warner's
I don't even
this
think
past
it
year
makes
or
sense.
SDX.
I think they're just desperate.
I think they're desperate.
I mean,
too.
I can't see it being desperate too. I just think from them being so desperate, it makes sense to try this. But I am on the side of like I'm very worried that this is only going to make things worse.
Yeah, but does it like really help them in the long run if they are unable to pick out good potential or have their thumb on the pulse of movie going? I don't think a computer that can't creatively think is going to be able to help
Well,
them. And then
that's-
aren't
that-
they just putting out the
That was
same
weird.
kind of product all the time? The
Yeah.
only
I
thing that
think-
fit their checkbox.
That's
Yeah,
also
just,
the
like,
problem that I
change some of
have.
the
It's-
pieces. Like, yeah, like you said, you could have a cancer drama starring Scarlett Johansson, and then like the next month, the computer will spit out like, well, now we have a Parkinson's drama starring Laura Dern.
Right.
It's like it's
So-
the same thing. Like,
Right, but Laura Dern
but this checked the
just
boxes.
won her Academy Award, and so she's going to be well received in these blah 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 blah. And I think you just get so consumed in the data, and
Yeah.
it's like the missing the forest for the trees.
Yeah,
It does make me worried
situation.
too that like studios are gonna not have like real people try to like analyze and see for themselves like why people think that these are not working. Instead, they're gonna rely on a computer to like answer.
just
that
the
for them. Like
automation
it feels like
that's-
there's no
Yeah.
extra mile that's being taken.
they
Like
don't
they're
have
trying to
to-
find an easy way.
yeah. It's
They
it's
don't
the,
have
that
to
part
hire
bugs me
people
a
it's
bit,
for
another
too. It
that.
feels
example of
like that.
automation taking over everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I wasn't expecting to see green light procedures being automated. That's so
No.
weird.
I'm not surprised though, because they've really cut back. In fact, a lot of the movies that were made in like some of the 80s and 90s that are cult classics now, like Ghostbusters,
Mhm.
probably wouldn't have been made today, given the strict greenlighting process that they have now.
Yeah.
With
They'll
just
sure make the remake.
Don't you
though.
Yeah.
think that they would see that and be like, maybe we should be a little bit more, think a little more outside
no,
the
it's
box?
it's a risk issue. I think.
Yeah, but the
what-
risks aren't working. Maybe.
Right. But what I think what's happened is in the studio environment, you've got a lot of accountants and lawyers and
Mhm.
executives making the creative decisions based upon
Yeah,
profitable
numbers.
numbers, which you should. I don't want studios to go into the ground just because they're trying to be really good. I think that that's what happened with Megan Ellison and Annapurna, is that she wasn't able to make great decisions, or she went too crazy on budget. She was kind of the opposite on the spectrum.
Mhm.
But you also need that studio person that can can recognize like, hey, this will be really good, this will get audiences.
Yeah.
And that and give them the ability to greenlight some of those things past this process.
Yeah. Because there's always going to be outliers. Like, by all accounts, this movie doesn't seem like it should work, but it's working.
Yeah.
And that we're going to lose that if it's all up to the computer. That's so weird.
Yeah, that's why I did a double take when I read the headline. I was like, wait a minute, what did you just say?
Well, I mean, it is the 2020s now, so.
Yeah, big technological
2020s.
advances, everyone.
So I wonder what the computer spit out when they decided to cast Nicholas Hoult as the new bad guy in Mission Impossible. Were they like, okay, he's younger, he'll hit this demographic,
He's still handsome.
and he's expendable. We don't have to keep
He's
him.
from the X-Men franchise. People love those once.
Yeah, they'll recognize him.
Once. I said once. I'm excited about Holt being in the Mission Impossible
It's a good
movies,
little segue.
especially if it's a villain role like some are making it out to be, because I want to see him
He'd probably,
expand his horizons, because
I
he
wouldn't be
seems very
surprised.
one-note
Yeah.
to me.
first thing my mind went to, speaking of tech, he's probably going to be some crazy, like, tech guy. Because, like, what else has Mission Impossible not done with their bad guys, you know? They've done the whole, like,
Yeah.
bomb threats and terrorists, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But, you know, this is the 2020s, this is the future. It's all about the cyber terrorism.
He's gonna
So
be
he's
in
probably
the
gonna-
chair, but he's gonna be
he's
like,
gonna be the
my
guy in the
robot
chair."
will take care of you, Tom Cruise.
Something like that, I feel like.
Or he's a mole.
Yeah.
A mole. Kind of like Henry Cavill. I think they did that last one a little bit.
So good.
Honestly, during the whole movie, I forgot like, I don't know. That's a whole different subject.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, Holt as in this movie, like that cast is looking pretty good. So why
Mission
not?
Impossible, this is the 7th one?
7th and 8th, he's gonna
Yeah,
be.
they're
in
shooting
both
them
of
back to back. I'm assuming that all of the new characters that they introduce, or most of them, will probably be in the next one after that. So
Yeah,
it'll be kind of like you were saying, like a two-parter, sort of how Rogue Nation and Fallout were kind of related, you know?
Yeah.
Or like Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace are kind of related.
Yeah. I wonder if they're doing that because they're thinking about going out on those two.
Probably. Like make the biggest Mission Impossible yet as our grand finale.
Yeah, but seeing that
If they
casting
don't
news
kill
was cool.
Tom Cruise in some crazy stunt.
Well, yeah, I thought you were gonna be like kill
he'll
Tom Cruise in the
break
last
both
movie,
feet.
and I was like,
Let's-
no.
They're like, we threw him out of a plane last time. Let's light him on fire. Let's
Let's
drown
throw him
him
off
in the
of two
ocean.
planes.
Let's sink
It's
him to
probably
the bottom
Tom
of the
Cruise,
ocean.
the one who's
See if he
making
can
those
come up.
decisions. He's to go, okay, guys, we got to think outside the box. How are you going to destroy my body?
I
this
know.
time?
Undersea volcano. He burrows into it and has to come up the lava tube all the way out without
Ride
getting
the
burned.
ride the
the
explosion.
heat
up.
explosion up.
My God, that sounds amazing. I actually
And he would actually do it. They would find an unstable undersea volcano, and they would find some way
Probably at Hawaii.
to trigger it, and then
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Wish me luck, guys."
And after that pitch, they turn to the AI that's on the opposite end of the table, and the AI goes, "Oh, that's the 5th box checked off. There we go.
We are a go.
We are a go, people."
Ugh.
Super risky death-defying stunt. Check.
What is the future gonna bring? So yeah, that's a cool little news snippet.
Yeah, Holt missed out on Batman, but at least he got Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Did he miss out on what was he? What did he miss out on Batman?
He was the runner-up.
He should
Next
be.
to-
Oh,
he
for
apparently,
the
Yeah,
Batman.
for-
That's right.
he
That's
didn't
right.
have Estrada's jaw as Robert Pattinson.
He's not
in
as
the
talented
cowl.
as Pattinson.
That jaw.
I think it was purely based on the jaw line and the cowl.
he is
Yeah,
good looking.
Probably.
He is good looking
I'm
too.
happy with it. Well, Batman's DC. DC. Birds of Prey. That's DC.
Whoa!
whoa.
Look at these
Transitions.
segues. They
It's
just
like
keep
we're
coming.
professionals.
They just keep coming.
Episode 94, we still got it.
So we got our new Birds of Prey trailer.
Dropped today.
The second official trailer. And I watched it.
Yeah, because I made him.
Because they made me.
Because I wanted to talk about it.
I don't like watching trailers on the computer.
Too bad it's your job.
Yeah.
It's the same
Do your
thing.
job, Eric.
It's kind of like the same thing as watching a movie at home that you've never seen before when you're not totally invested. It's like
Kind of like watching a movie on Netflix.
maybe if I see a trailer for the first time in a theater, it will make the trailer that much better, and then I'll be more excited for the movie. But if I just see a trailer, like,
Would you, though, for Birds of Prey?
no, because I know the kind of movie it is. But like,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So our general takeaway from the Birds of Prey trailers.
well,
in
you should
general,
preface this by saying
yeah.
I think you mentioned a little bit in the last podcast, but for some reason, a lot of your
Smaller
theaters,
town
or smaller,
theaters
yeah, they
are
don't want to play
requesting
it.
not to play it, and I'm like, why? I think this is going to be a big movie.
Superhero
in,
movie. Those always do
in
well.
February, which is great.
Everyone
like that's
loves
at a time
Margot
we
Robbie.
need it. And she was the best part of the Suicide Squad, so I think there's some anticipation for this film. And then they got Ewan McGregor, so it's not like there's
Who
not a
still
good,
looks awesome.
Yeah, he looks great as the villain. But I think we figured it out. That
Unfortunately,
I think
Yeah.
we figured it out.
there's a
I mean, to
layer of
pu-
trashiness to
yeah,
these.
to put it bluntly,
Yeah.
I feel like these little theaters are maybe getting a little bit judgmental, and they're thinking that it's a trashy movie about a bunch of trashy women.
Yeah. Trashy women movie.
But if these are small, like, rural towns that are
They're
thinking
not
that
super
it's
small.
not
I mean,
super small, okay, fine.
We
Then
don't
I
like-
won't
not
be
big
judgy.
City, but
I mean,
gonna make a
I
judgy
think that looks great.
comparison.
I think
Yeah.
that's definitely. I mean, yeah, Harley Quinn looks a little kind of like, you
Rough
know,
around the edges.
yeah, like her makeup smearing
My
and her
stars.
clothes are all ripped. Even her hammer is like old and worn out. You know,
I like that. It's
but that's
better
totally
than
the whole look.
everything
That's the
looking
whole
clean.
theme. Like, what do you expect?
I know I got what I was expecting, but apparently when I had some clients watch the trailer, they're like,
They're
no.
like, oh,
Now, granted,
Did they say
jeez.
anything specific? What are they saying?
No, they're just like, I don't think we want to play that. And I'm like, I want to be like, why? But they're like, we just
I'll do it
don't.
for you.
And then they're like, we just don't want to. And you know that there's just
Yeah, you
something like like that's like such a negative, gross reaction to it that
Are they like older? Like your grandma wouldn't want? Like,
no, they're not.
would be like offended by?
They're definitely older, but they're not grandma age yet. I think grandma's
some
is,
young
like,
grandmas.
super-
I was about to say, like, old grandma or, like, youngish,
youngish hip grandma.
Hot
youngish
grandma.
hip grandma. I mean, look, this
yeah.
movie is not going to, like, make gangbusters. It's not
No.
going to be, like,
Maybe
The
probably
biggest-
not. But
Probably
I'm
not.
guessing, like,
In
it's going to do,
February.
like, about Shazam numbers, which is good. Like, that's a good day for a
Maybe
movie.
even a little less
like
because I
this.
think it'll probably be rated R.
It is rated R.
Yeah,
so there's
it
that
can't
too.
do Shazam numbers.
I mean, yes, Joker is rated R and it made $1 billion
But that's
worldwide or
Joker.
whatever. But
Right.
And it's Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah, those
Yeah.
are a bit bigger than Margot Robbie's name and the Harley Quinn name.
No.
But I just going on like the trashiness of it, like I don't know. It's I
Love
get
saying the word
I
trashy.
just think it's a ridiculous argument to
Trashy
make.
Harley Quinn.
It
movie.
is, of course, and I don't. None
People
of us
need to get
see it
over
that
it,
way. I mean, I
but-
kind of see what they're saying,
Yeah.
but I think that's cool, and that's totally like the whole
Point
heart
of the movie.
of these
Yeah.
characters. But I can,
They're rough.
I can. It's
around
so
the edge
easy for me to
characters.
see people,
Trashy and slutty.
I can totally see why that's why they're writing it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I thought
it's
the
just
second-
annoying.
I
I
thought
think
this
it's annoying.
second
but I get it.
trailer was much better, and I kind of wish they had led with it, only because it explains the story more. So if you get that like yuck trash vibe from it, then you're like, well, it's kind of an interesting story.
Yeah,
so
I thought
maybe
this
can
trailer
get
was
Plus,
behind
it sounds a bit
tame.
of that girl
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, this trailer
type
was a lot
of
more
movie,
tame,
despite them being flawed.
right. A more tame trailer would have been nice
Yeah.
on the
'cause,
first.
like there's more
get-go.
comedy in this trailer, I guess, like conventional comedy. The first trailer
Yeah.
like opens up with her like, you know, her makeup's all smeared and she's cutting her hair, and then
Yeah.
like the music choice, everything about it is a lot more in your face, but also not as explicit about the story.
Yeah.
This one is kind of the opposite. It's a much more quiet, calmer music track,
Uh-huh.
and they kind of take their time explaining it, and it's not as trashy. So if they led with this and this became people who have no idea what the Birds of Prey is, if this trailer was their first impression, I feel like they might be a little
Right.
bit more on board.
Because a lot of them didn't know what Birds of Prey was
I didn't know
beforehand.
what Birds of Prey was.
So
I knew what Birds of
because it's the emancipation of one
Not a
Harley
lot
Quinn.
of people do.
Fantabulous
Oh yeah,
Emancipation.
forgot that one.
I'm glad that we don't say the full name of the title every
Yeah.
day. It would just give me a headache.
Oh, I know.
So speaking of trashy movie, let's go to another trashy movie called
Yeah.
The New Mutants.
I think
Were
this
those
one looked a lot
characters-
better than Birds of Prey. So
Sure, yeah.
quick recap: this movie was supposed to come out like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like October
was-
of
I don't know if you guys remember
2017,
it.
18
So,
maybe.
What happened was it got caught up in the Fox Disney merger,
Mhm.
and it had some reshoot issues because when they were discussing the merger, Disney was like, "Ooh, we got to do something with this," because
Yeah.
it wasn't getting very well reception from its trailer when it first came out. And then it got just kind of pushed back. I think there were some reshoots, some re-editing of the footage already there, and then the re-editing of the trailer. So now that the merger has like happened and now it's fully Disney, I think we're getting a brand new kind of trailer and take. And
I feel like it looks and feels the exact same though.
Yeah,
And
really,
they were
I
yeah.
feel like it feels way more superhero mutiny.
Well, it's
I-
because it showed the powers.
Well,
I don't think
yeah,
I don't
that
think the
part's
first trailer
true.
necessarily
No.
showed their powers.
no, they
But
kept
the
that pretty
setting
hidden.
and the look
Yeah.
of the characters and the coloration.
well, you
it's
can't
just this.
change
It's this
everything.
grimy,
Yeah.
gothic, like, just kind of hopeless story.
Right. But
Mhm.
I think the first trailer, they were going for a very strict like mutants horror
Oh, yeah.
vibe,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
I feel like they've backed away in this trailer from that horror vibe.
Well, the director has gone on
Interesting.
in a bunch of interviews saying that like nothing has really changed. The original idea for the movie is the one that's being released.
right.
So maybe all of the reshoots were for nothing and they didn't actually use them. Who knows what? I
I
think
think the director's just
I just
saving
think it's
face.
a big difference. The biggest difference is purely us seeing the superpowers in this one. I feel like it's the only thing that makes people think it's not as much of a horror.
Yeah.
I feel like the tone of that first trailer is still totally how the movie is. We just didn't happen to see any bright colors and sparks.
Yeah, that's about what I was thinking too.
But it's just interesting to see the shift from one corporate culture and the way they were going to market it
Oh, yeah.
to a different corporate culture.
Well, I remember when that first trailer did come out. It came out 2 years ago, and a lot of people, the internet, a lot of places and fans really liked it.
Yeah,
It was a cool take, but then I can see how. I think back then it was. Was it? It was
No,
suspected that it was going to be rated R,
probably
and then I think
because
Disney
they did Logan and
Dis-
Deadpool, and
yeah,
that was all R-rated.
and then
They
Disney
weren't
looked
afraid
at
to
it and
go
they're like,
there.
"This isn't really on brand for us."
Which is strange because there's no signs that it is on brand for them.
No, it's the same movie.
Yeah,
They just showed superpowers in the trailer.
yeah.
I think that's all that happened.
I liked it more.
I mean, maybe like during the whole movie, we'll be like, "Oh, that's the Disney stuff that could
Maybe.
happen," and they're not showing
Maybe.
it in the trailer. But as of now, I'm just happy that it at least looks consistent with.
Well, it's definitely
What happened 2
PG-13.
years
It's not
ago.
going to be
Yeah.
R.
I'm glad. as
Oh, is it
well
not?
That
No,
it's going to be
PG-13.
Oh, maybe
theatrically
that'll be the
distributed.
difference. Mm.
But that's why I can't remember. I don't know if the plan was to make it R or if the plan was like, let's push this PG-13 really far.
I think it was to push the PG-13.
I think that was the original plan. I'm not sure. It's so long ago.
Maybe.
How am I
Yeah.
supposed to remember these things?
Yeah, even I'm spacing on, and like I follow this stuff way too much. But yeah, I'm not really sure.
The most interesting part, though, is that it is coming to theaters, though, because for a
Yeah.
long time,
Yes.
this was one of the things that
we
even in here in the
speculated.
office, we're like, this is definitely on the chopping block.
Yeah, we heard
this is going to
we knew
streaming.
nothing. We had no idea.
I thought for sure after the transition because they had pushed back the release date. And they took it completely off the schedule at one point.
No, I remember that.
And then I thought, okay, they're gonna do everything that was slated for this year, but everything that got pushed to the next year is probably
Streaming.
not gonna happen
Dump it.
streaming.
Well, it wasn't it at CinemaCon that they even showed like a lineup of their releases and it said New Mutants, and everyone was like, really? Like, is that? I thought. Did I hear
I don't
that
think
somewhere
that
else?
was in CinemaCon.
Oh, maybe it was somewhere else then. Or
don't
maybe
know.
I made it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a weird
Yeah.
guy.
It's just funny, the whole drama surrounding this thing. And it's going to come out. It'll probably be an average movie. And people will
I mean-
immediately forget about it.
It's
You know,
it's very
it's-
likely that that's good.
It's
As
15
good as it
minutes of
looks.
fame was the whole, like, is this thing even going to be made?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll
I
be
have no other thoughts to that.
it'll be
forgot
nice if
that-
it could be like a kind of a redemption for the X-Men movies, though.
Is it Maisie Williams? Is that
Yeah.
her name?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she's that Game of Thrones little girl. And she looks so young.
Oh,
in
she.
this.
I know.
It's been years. She
yeah,
looks much more grown up than she did then.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
it's weird to see that.
Mhm.
And I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I'm like, she looks like a baby.
But
Yeah.
you like know what she looks like
Yeah.
now, and you're like that. The very big difference.
That's what happens whenever
Yeah.
in that like time you change so much so fast. Like we
Mhm.
saw with the Stranger Things kid.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's true. Finn Wolfhard.
Yep.
Yeah, him. Time's
Oh,
crazy.
From
puberty.
turning to Ghostbusters.
Even though Maisie Williams is like a little bit younger than us, but she looks like way younger. I don't know. That movie's finally happening though.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it for the
Well, what's
majority
coming
of
out
trailers.
this weekend, guys?
1917
It's
and
expanding.
Just Mercy are both expanding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the two new releases are Underwater and Like a Boss.
All right,
Tiffany
experts.
Haddish. I'm
What do we-
coming for her.
You always say that, and you're always disappointed.
I know.
I was gonna.
Always.
I was
This
gonna
is
ask you
like by
guys.
far the worst reviewed of her.
Is
Of
it?
her recent movies.
really?
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll skip it so that I get that. Like,
But
I
Tiffany
kinda wanna
Haddish.
see Underwater. I, don't know
I love
why.
her. She's so funny. You don't want to see Underwater?
No, I kind of do.
I've heard it's
I
not
Really?
don't know
bad.
why.
Because it's PG-13. You're like,
It's just
"Oh,
a derivative creature feature,
yeah.
but I like Kristen Stewart. It'll be weird to see T.J. Miller again. I feel like he's just disappeared
He kind of got.
for pretty good reason. Didn't
Yeah,
he try
he-
to like bomb a place?
He,
He
called in a bomb
He
threat.
called in a bomb
Yeah.
threat while being high.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he was
high.
On what? Weed's not gonna make you call in a bomb
I'm
threat.
sure
Whatever-
there's some
Whatever
extra
strong
things.
stuff he
Yeah.
had.
Everything at once. Speedball.
Yeah.
But experts, which movie do you think
1917
is
is easily. It's gonna take. It's
Yeah.
gonna take number one. Star Wars will fall to number two.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Boss will probably be up there. Underwater will probably do nothing. Sadly.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Like
I mean,
bottom
relatively speaking.
bottom
yeah.
of the box office?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Just because there's no hype for it?
I mean,
It's
people
just-
just don't really realize it's a thing, and then
And I think this time of year, people are tired of are just regular movies, and they kind of
This is-
want prestige movies.
yeah, this is the time where like even the more average moviegoers are like, oh, I should probably see some of these movies that'll probably be at the Oscars,
Like
so
in
I can
1917.
so I can participate in the conversation.
Yeah. I just feel like it's time for higher caliber films. That's why
Yeah.
the expansion films usually do so much better.
So that's why I think Like a Boss will probably do okay because it'll be kind of counter programming for people who still just want to go see a simple comedy
For the
movie.
Tiffany Haddish fans that give her
And
movies a
Roseburn.
shot.
I like Roseburn. too.
Roseburn is very good.
And then Just
Underrated
Mercy.
actress.
I don't know. Just Mercy.
It
It
kind of
was
off.
it was
Yeah.
kind of once people started seeing it, or at least critics, they were like, oh, this is kind of average.
Yeah.
This is a solid 5 out of 10 movie. What?
That-
Which
that's
is
solid. That's
unfortunate.
rough.
I
No,
thought
I
I thought that first trailer was really
I
moving,
think
but it's easy to make
got
trailers
better
manipulative.
Rotten Tomato score than that.
No. I mean, it's not 50%, but it's like 60, 70.
Yeah, not the greatest of ratings.
Its Metacritic score right now is like 63 or something.
Yeah,
It's
it
at
just
an 82. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what is its average score?
I don't care about Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes. No, it just weirdly fell off. I don't think there's much attention
It
for
has a 99% audience score and a
it. Wow.
82% tomato fresh score.
I know, but that's based on the 50-50, is this good or is this bad? But the average score,
Where's the average score?
you should be able to click see more info right there.
You see, this is why you should not take these ratings all that seriously.
6.96 out of 10.
Yeah, see? A pretty average movie. Whereas I think a lot of people were expecting it to be like a heavyweight awards contender, and it's not going to do anything.
Probably
Unless,
not.
unless if
Every
it's
year
the dark horse.
Every year has those movies, though. You know, people look
We
at it and they're
thought-
like, oh, maybe
I
Jamie
kinda
Foxx
thought-
will get a Best Supporting Actor nomination
Yeah.
because
I
it's
thought
a...
Green Book should have been that last year. Like, why are so many people talking about this movie?
Well, that's why
Because
I'm
it
say-
fixed racism. Are we forgetting that it
We-
cured racism?
We have Just Mercy because we fixed racism. Clearly. No, I'm totally with you though. That's why I think it's a dark horse. Like I actually think if it gets nominated, I'll be like, well, if Green
No.
Book won,
No, it's
Just
you know,
Mercy
people
could win.
people were thinking that the director Destin Daniel Cretton, I think is his name.
yeah,
Because he's still really, people love Short Term 12. Then he made
So
The Glass
good.
Castle, which was definitely not up to Short Term 12's quality. And then they were thinking like, oh, maybe that was just a misstep. Maybe he'll come back with this, and it just turns out to be another pretty generic, based on a true story movie. So don't expect it to show up anywhere in the
So
awards
we'll just have
ceremony.
to see how 1917 does, because they're going to expand a little next week on the 17th, and then the week of the 24th they'll take some more, and then they're just going to keep kind of creating some momentum to the awards.
No, I'm excited to see
We're
1917.
like 1 month
Yeah.
away.
Ever since that first teaser came out, I was like, yeah, I want this. And just a World War I movie they're too rare. I want more.
Mm.
you're right about that.
Because America didn't play a big role in it. That's why we're like,
And the guys are just sitting in trenches.
it's
For
so
years.
brutal. Yeah.
I don't know why we're laughing
brutal.
at that, but yeah.
What losers. Just sitting in trenches.
What were they thinking?
Seriously, though, who fights like that? Is that how humans used to fight wars?
People come in, they're gonna be like, "Wow,
I'm going to dig my hole over here. You guys dig your hole way over there. And we're just going to sit in our holes
And
for
then we're going
years.
to develop gas.
What if
And
people?
make-
Can't get
yeah.
to you.
What if people come in thinking it is a World War II movie? And they're like, "Why were they in trenches
I'm
the
sure a
whole
lot
time?
of people.
There were
I'm sure a
tanks."
lot of people are thinking
I
that
don't-
this is a World War II
And I
movie.
don't think
Oof.
people will question why they're in trenches. They're like, oh, this is how war is fought.
Remember
Well-
World War II's trenches,
Yeah.
where you move 2
On-
inches
Remember
after
the
4
trenches in
years.
Normandy Beach, Kyle?
The one historian is like,
Yeah.
"No, I don't remember that because that's
The
not
great
how it works."
Mile-long French trenches.
No, it'll be interesting to see how its one take execution lands with audiences, because Birdman was kind of divisive amongst audiences. Obviously, most critics liked it a lot, but I don't know if it was the one take thing or if just because it was a weird movie.
I think it was
I
just
think it
the
was
weird.
weird.
It was a weird movie. I think for like a historical drama like this, they'll be fine with the story,
Well, I was looking at
and
the
they'll
list.
probably enjoy how great it looks.
I was looking at the top 20, or not top 20, the 20 movies that have received F cinema scores, and Silent House was on there, and that's a one take movie, and I was like, interesting.
That's only because Grudge got an F cinema score last week.
It's true, it did.
Yeah, people are freaking out about
And
cinema scores like that. They're
Right.
like, "Oh my, an F? Let's see."
Well, because the last one
Who
that got
cares?
one was Mother with
That was
Sure.
one of the first reviews I wrote for this site,
Jennifer
and I remember
Lawrence.
hating that movie. I should rewatch it. Because I just rewatched Joker, and it's not nearly as bad
I
as I
was
thought it was.
really actually surprised.
Oh, did you go back and rewatch it?
Yeah,
You had a new tune about Joker?
a little bit.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
the biggest problems I had with it are still really bad,
Sure.
and one of them is even worse now.
But now you're
but-
not as mad.
He's moved on.
Yeah, I've pretty much just moved on.
Yeah.
I just watched it again in my room on my little TV, and I was like, everything except for the script in this movie is very well done.
That's
It's
about what
just
you
the
said
script
before.
is a pretty important part of a movie,
Yeah, for
and there's
sure.
still some moments that are just so awful.
Mm.
But
I've yet to see it.
At least you enjoyed it a bit more.
I still hate the ending. I hate how he just gets a gun given to him for no reason. That's already wrapped up in a brown bag. I don't know why. That guy just has it.
yeah. I was trying to remember that part.
The bigger things like how fast the riots happen and the fact that he gets beaten up by these bullies at the beginning, they didn't bother me as much this time because I just imagined I was reading like a really edgy graphic novel. And it just kind of made sense. I was like, I
No,
can buy
that's a good
that. I was
comparison.
like, I can buy. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would give it now like a 6.5 instead of a 5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do remember you saying like you would give it a 5 or a low score like that, and I just was taken aback. I was like, wow.
It's just mainly how much people claim to love it. Like Metacritic's
Yeah.
user, like best movies of the year, Joker was voted as the second best. I was like, I hate all of you guys.
Well, when
Come on.
seeing Joker in the Golden Globes Best Picture category next to like the Netflix movies and 1917, like it's Golden Globes, so I don't take it into account that much. But I was like, you could probably take it out and put in something else.
Yeah, I think it'll probably still get an Oscar nomination though.
Probably.
Oh yeah, it was a
For Best
huge
Picture.
narrative, and it was big.
Despite
yeah.
some of those that wouldn't even go see it.
It won't
To
win
see
Best
if it'll-
Picture, but
No, I don't
Joaquin
think it will.
Phoenix might win for actor, and he
Could.
can wear, like he said, the same suit that he's gonna wear all award season. 'Cause he's a psycho.
Has he won before? I don't think he's ever won. Is this like his year now? Is that what people are trying to make it seem like?
Maybe so he goes away.
I'm sure he's won it. Has he
I
not
love
won?
Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't. I love him as an actor too. I don't need to hear him talk though outside of movies. I feel like there's probably nothing going on up there.
Or there's a
Or
lot going on.
There's a
up
lot
there.
going on, and it's just
There's
garbage.
Too
being
much
spewed
going
out.
on.
No, it looks like he's only ever been nominated a couple of times. Never won. Maybe this is the year.
Maybe. I don't know. More I think about it, maybe he.
That's
I'd-
your
I'd say
dark horse
top-
candidate.
I'd say flip a coin. It's Joaquin or Adam Driver. Tiny,
Ooh.
tiny chance Antonio Banderas wins.
Yeah. I don't know. I still see nominations, but I don't like the.
Yeah.
I don't mind those choices. For sure.
I don't think it'll be bad either way.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Should we head out of here
yeah,
then?
let's
Yeah.
head out of here.
All right.
Cool. Have a good weekend. Go see 1917.
Yeah.
And I guess Underwater and Like a Boss if you want.
Yeah. Whatever movies you like, as long as you go check them out. And also thanks for listening to the podcast. I keep wanting to say watching the podcast.
Maybe soon to watch
Maybe
it.
soon. Hopefully.
Maybe by the end of this year, we'll see how long it took me to get on Spotify. We'll see how long it takes me to make videos.
But for now, just listen to us on all podcast platforms and check out our website, Silver Screen Insider, for all your theater exhibition needs.
Perfect. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.